What's up guys, it's Justin here, and today I've got a video talking about the iPhone 7 smart battery case from Apple. So I did do a video on the one for the 6S, I'm sure some of you might have seen that, and that video did get a lot of hate, and that is totally understandable, but it got almost 500,000 views, so I'm assuming a lot of people out there are still interested of the case, but just don't want to admit it, and I definitely don't blame you for that. Here I've got the iPhone 7 smart battery case, and just from looking at it, it looks identical to the one before, but it does have a few improvements here and there, and I'm going to be discussing those in this video. First off, and most importantly, the capacity has been increased. With any battery case, the more capacity the better, but you kind of have to balance out whether you want a higher capacity or a lighter case. The iPhone 6s's battery case wasn't exactly on the large side, it just didn't look really good with the hump on the back, but the capacity also wasn't very good as well. It was 1877 milliamp hours, and that was able to give you about 80% charge, which is ridiculous considering how much Apple was charging for the case. I'm happy to report with the iPhone 7 battery case though, the capacity is 2365 milliamp hours, and that is a 26% increase. The first thing you're going to be wondering is whether or not the size or form factor has changed. And the answer to that is no. After weighing the cases, it is about 1 gram heavier, so that is really nice to see, as there is almost no changes in terms of the form factor or weight, while you're getting 26% more battery performance. And also on the iPhone 7, the battery is slightly larger this year at 1960 milliamp hours versus 1715. So with the iPhone 7 paired up with the battery case, you have a 14% increase in the capacity of the internal battery and a 26% increase in the battery case. So for someone like me, that is pretty awesome, as it just extends the use of my phone. I was personally able to get until about 2 to 3 p.m. on a given day using the iPhone 6s without a case, and on the iPhone 7 I was able to get a small improvement up around to about 4 p.m. but still not great battery life and definitely not enough to get me through the day. With the battery case on the iPhone 6s, I was getting around until 8 p.m. until I had to charge it again, and on the iPhone 7 one, I've easily been able to get until about 10 or 11. So the battery improvements are great for someone like me who uses the phone as a daily driver and does a lot of things that involve internet, tethering, and just battery intensive tasks. Additionally, the case also looks a little bit different in terms of the color. It is now darker, and at first I didn't really like this, but with the iPhone 7 coming in 2 different colors, including the jet black and matte black being newly introduced, this case matches these phones perfectly, and it actually looks pretty clean when I put my phone in, so I'm definitely not complaining anymore about that. One of the biggest reasons why I like the Apple battery case is because of its silicone feel. I come from silicone cases on the iPhone 6 and the 6s up until this battery case came out, and the reason why I like the silicone feel and construction is because it is both durable for my uses and also very good looking. The cases itself have a nice grip to it, and especially with the iPhone 7 in matte black, but after using the cases for a few years and having the iPhone as a daily driver and dropping it, throwing it on cement, I haven't had a cracked screen, my phone is still in flawless condition, and even though the case is quite beat up, it holds up very nicely, and I can say the same about the battery case. As you can see here, with the 6S one, I absolutely beat it up on the corners, and my phone is perfectly fine. It obviously has a nice lay on the table design, but the phone at the same time is still relatively comfortable to use. It just takes some getting used to over a first few days. One other small thing to note is that the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus have the stereo speakers, with one being located on the front and one on the bottom. And typically when you're watching a movie, you might hold your phone in landscape mode and block the bottom speaker, and that's where the front-facing speaker comes in. With the iPhone battery case, you're able to have your speakers directed to the front, so you can now hold your phone in landscape mode and have technically dual front-facing speakers. That being said, in the end, this case is still $100, and it's really not worth the money, but you are paying the Apple Premium. Of course, you can get many higher capacity battery cases for less than $100, and I will also be leaving links down below to some other battery case alternatives in case you don't want to get the Apple one. Speaking of the silicone cases, if you would like to see me make a video on that as well, please leave a comment down in the comment section below, and also leave a like on this video, and I'll see you all in the next video.